And we're back, Snappy Tomato Pizza, Frank and the gang here on a Monday night with the Skyhawk Talk as the program continues. UT Martin coming off the win this past weekend over Southeast Missouri. Coach Jason Simpson joins us here, and Coach, as impressed as I have been with Fred in his play on the football field, after getting down to and sitting down and visiting with him, I'm even more impressed. That's more what he talked about just now is more impressive than any tackle he ever made, fumble, recovery, or interception.
Well, no question. We've known that for Fred for a long time now, and we always knew he would make an impact on our community and in our league. God doesn't reveal to us in what ways and how that was going to happen, and I hate that something like this had to happen, for you and other people in the community and their administration and people on campus, that there wasn't an everyday contact with Fred that
Right.
had to see. Because, in college football, I mean, you see, what's in the newspaper are negative things, besides the scores. And, some knucklehead does something, that's embarrassing to the university and embarrassing themselves. I mean, that's what you see. And, but I'm proud of the kids we bring in this program. I mean, I am. I'm not saying they're all perfect. But Fred's a great leader. And, I hope Lance and Drew are leaving and just left. They have some parents drop by and bring their kids to come see Fred. He's their pigskin pal. I mean, how neat is that? I mean, that's something great about our community and where we live, and just another testament to Fred. I've had a lot of adults that have been visiting with him over the last 2 weeks, and he talked about how he's touched their lives with his faith, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot, and you and I talked about this last week, and Fred will be the first one to tell you that he's not looking for sympathy. He knows there's a lot of people that are more sick or more injured, and there's fatalities and things like that people deal with, and we're not trying to belittle their situation or put his situation up to not that at all. But when something gets taken away from you that you love, and the first thing the human instinct is to say, is God, why? Why would you let that happen to me? I'm a good person. That's just the example that he's setting. And what he alluded to when he came and talked to the team last week, you and I saw each other later in the week. Mm-hmm. Very emotional, very touching. He's out there and he tells his teammates, I don't regret 1 second of playing. I would make the same hit over again. And I think a lot of them were wondering, what was his take on that? Would I play? If I knew I was going to get hurt, would I have played? And, he kind of eased their, anxiety and said, guys, I'd do it again. I wrote on my, in our ASH ceremony, that I would sacrifice my body for my teammates. Mm. And he did that. And he told them, don't feel sorry for me. This was God's plan for me. You don't know what God has in store for you. He's giving you ability to keep playing, honoring God with your ability, because I would be back out there again tomorrow if I could. And it was very, very emotional, and I appreciate him for having the strength to come out there and give his teammates strength.
Truly an inspiration, without a doubt, and I want to thank you for making this possible for him to come out and visit with us.
Well, I mean, it didn't. He would have done it. He knows this is a platform for him. And I appreciate you guys having him on, and anybody that wants to stop by the office and get Fred's address and reach out to him, and I'm sure he'd be more than happy to take you up on opportunities as he starts feeling a little better and to go and speak, because that's what not to speak for him, but that's what God's using him for at this point, and I'm sure he'll take full advantage of it.
Coach, let's talk about the game. You go to Southeast Missouri. You played in Cape Girardeau. This was a team that's record was not that great, but boy, they had scared Tennessee State and Jacksonville State, and they scared us a little bit too. 27-17, you get the win.
Yeah, and that's how all their games have been. They've been second half games, fourth quarter games, and that's what this one was. We got off to a good start. I was pleased to see that. We get the big punt return by Jason McNair, and we get it down there in the 10. We throw a pass, and get it to the 1 foot line, and we quarterback sneak it in. We're up 7-0, and things are looking good. We kind of hit a little lull there, and Derek could tell you, Derek Carr, things were not going to happen in this game like they did against Murray. I mean, everybody had seen us on tape the week before. You got in those empty formations. Everybody was playing deep, and he missed some reads, and I probably didn't put him in as good a situations sometimes as we had done the week before. And we were trying to score, a touchdown every pass we threw. And we forced some balls and kind of got us out of rhythm. I think we had 2 3-and-outs there. And then we got a little rhythm right before halftime. We started going, picking up the tempo and handing the ball off. There was 5 guys in the box. They were trying to stop the pass. And Tevin Barksdale and Jason McNair kind of ripped off some runs there. And so I guess we take the lead. What was it, 14-10?
Right.
And then we get the fumble right back.
Right.
And 16 seconds left, kick the field goal. So that kind of gave us a little momentum going into halftime.
You're up 17-10 after at one point trailing 10-7. And I thought that the fast start, by the way, the Derek Carr touchdown was his first, I think, of the season on the ground. But, for the third weekend in a row, we're a homecoming team. And you always expect when you're at their homecoming that they're going to come out and be fired up. Right. And I thought it was key for us at Murray and in this game to quiet that crowd a little bit at the very beginning.
It is. I mean, no matter what, there's an emotional boost when you play a team for homecoming because those stands were full.
Right.
They've got a losing record, but they had a great crowd and a crowd that was into the game and a lot of students there and maybe at times they got out of hand on our bench, but they start off having fun. I think sometimes some of them alcohol and bad decisions creeped into their. But it started off as a good college atmosphere environment, and I was very impressed with what they had going on. But to be able, like you said, to kind of temper that down and take control of the game, I was proud of that.
Both weeks you score early, and within 3 minutes or 4 minutes into the game, and then in the third quarter, Coach, the last points were scored. Both teams defensively pitched a shutout in the fourth quarter, but Cody kicks a field goal in the third quarter when you come out there on a 10-play drive. And then Jason McNair takes one into the end zone late in the third quarter. And you had a 27-17 lead, and you just knew the defense had to hold them after that.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were not a big play offense, even though they did hit some big plays. I mean, I went back and watched the tape, and, it wasn't one of our more impressive games. It really wasn't. And now we're happy to get every win we can get, but, I just thought we played just well enough on offense to get the win, and I thought we'd played just well enough on defense to get the win. They're hard to come by, and I'm not, belittling the coach's effort or the player's effort, but, you want to hit this line. We got a 3-week stretch here, and you want to be playing your best football as you get into these last 3 games. And so, I'll make sure tomorrow, the kids have the day off today, and we'll meet tomorrow, and, that's obviously the point I'm going to make is that, we've got to, it's, you don't want to peak too early, but at some point you got to peak. All right. Now, to the things that we're good at, you say, okay, well, give me the personality of the football team. You look on those stat sheets on the OVC. We're not good at anything. We don't lead the league in anything. Okay. And now there's been years that you and I've sat here where we've led the league, right? And whether it be rushing or whether it be total offense or right there first or second stuff. Now now. And I'm one of those coaches, right, that statistics are for losers, and losing assistant coaches, because that's what you talk about when you don't have the opportunity to talk about a championship or et cetera. But the things we are leading in are things we've been missing in the past. Turnover differential. We were 1 behind SEMO, and we were +3 in the game. So now we're +9 for the year. So now we're leading the conference. Okay, we haven't done that in 6 years. We're leading the league, and hold on to your hat now, we're the fewest penalized team in the league. And it's kind of funny. I get you don't know whether to be hard on the officials or easy on the officials. I don't know. You just got to kind of go with the flow in the game. But we're the least penalized team in the league. And our opponent is the second highest penalized team in the league.
I asked you about this a while back. I said, can you force an opponent to commit penalties? And you said, no, not really, but it looks like it.
Well, you don't know. And I think Montour's going to, and him and DJ Roberts are going to get some holding calls. People are going to hold them to get them from get to the quarterback.
Right.
People are going to pass interference with Quentin Sims and Butler because they're so big and so strong. So those are things that you probably, you force because of personnel matchups, but not necessarily you can't scheme any of that kind of stuff up. And, so that's why we're 6-2. One of our losses being to a 7-1 football team, Northern Illinois. So, those are things I'm proud of, but we have got to, hit our peak offensively and defensively. You're not going to keep winning ugly. Eventually you're going to have to dominate a football game on both sides to be able to keep pace with the rest of our opponents.
Yeah, 2 things. One of the things I talk about Southeast Missouri, it's halftime and we're up 17-10. And I told John Abel and Tom Britt, we really haven't played that well, and we're leading. which is a good sign. If you're a team and you're not playing very well and you still have the lead, that's a good sign.
Right. Well,
I know it's frustrating for the coaches.
No, it is. Now part of the thing defensively, without Fred and Taino, as I keep speaking about every week now, we're piecing some things together. It was good to see Aaron Sims get some playing time at corner, and he's starting to come along a little bit. Clemens got to play a little bit at safety. Beside Julius and Snoop, Javontes Blackman have been the two safeties getting all the reps, and that's a lot of reps when you're playing 80, 100 plays a game on defense, and then they're playing another 15 on special teams. Okay, and so some other guys have got to continue to step up and grow up, and then offensively, Ben Everett was hurt again. Got hurt again in pregame, so we didn't play with him. So we're kind of we're still that 11th guy, whether it be the tight end or the fullback situations. We're still working through that. Because either when you play with a fullback, right, you need 20 personnel, or with a fullback and a tight end, you're 21 personnel. So believe it or not, we're still scoring 30 points a game. But there's sometimes to where, to win the game, to go on one drive, what personnel grouping will you be in?
Right.
And it's changed weekly depending on who we're playing.
One of your most difficult coaching challenges of your career?
No question.
Yeah.
No question. Every week it is a chore, even though, like I said, you'll take the 30 points of how you're getting it, but it is very taxing on a coaching staff to.
You have to be creative.
No, you do, because you can't just say, "Hey, here's what we are. See if you can stop us." Because there's some matchups that we're behind in. Now, I give credit to the kids, and I give credit to the quarterbacks, and I give credit to wide receivers that are making enough plays to to keep us along. And this week, the running game kind of came on a little bit. They were going to make us run the ball, and it was good to have Tevin back. Finally had a 100-yard rusher. And and now I'm of no illusion. I know that we could line up and run the ball for 100. We could run the ball for 150 to 175 yards each week. I just don't. There's some games you can't commit 45 carries to get that. Mm-hmm. We just need to get our 150, 160 yards rushing. Under 30 carries, so you can get those 35 to 40 throws in. Because as you're running the ball, the clock's running. If you don't get 7 points, we've given up a lot of points lately. You may not can match your opponent, especially when you go through that stretch with East Kentucky, Eastern Illinois, and Murray.
And one other thought before we take the break. To me, what it looks like on the outside, there have been times this year, offensively, the best UT Martin team I've ever seen.
At times.
Defensively, one of the best UT Martin teams I've ever seen. What I have not seen is for us to put that together for 4 quarters on both sides.
No, we certainly have. We're awful on third down. We're not getting off the field enough on third down. And that's a maturity factor. That's a lot of things. And one of the things is a young man sitting here eating pizza beside us over here. But you go back to a Memphis game, you go back to a Southeast Louisiana game. Up to the point where he was, injured against, East Illinois. It's just different when you got an experienced, tall, rangy free safety back there to help some things out. But we're trying to coach through those things. It's a lot more fun to figure them out when you're leading the league. Than not. But that's what makes it, so fun. As a coach, you're never happy.
Right.
And that's one of the things that's not fun about this job, is that you're never satisfied. But if you are satisfied, you're not doing your players justice, because you got to find ways to continue to push them to get better, because we got a lot of football left in this year's season.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll talk about that and look back at some of the other statistics from the game. UT Martin has an off weekend, and we'll take on Jacksonville State. More coming up from Snappy Tomato Pizza on the Skyhawk Sports Network.